What's going on, everybody? I'm Blitz5 and hope you guys are doing well. Happy holidays. In front of us, we have the official patch notes for 15.1, and it is a tradition on my channel to go through these patch notes, even though these are usually longer videos. This one is an estimated read of 14 minutes. I'm going to try to skip over the less important stuff and talk about what we tested playing on the test server this morning. As I record this video, it is November 24th, 2021, and the test servers are live right now. This will go on the live version of PC next week and then in 2 weeks for console. So if you're a console player, we're going to have to wait all the way until December 9th to play this. And as you can see, as the first thumbnail here, we have a polar bear looking costume riding a mountain bike. And this is the big ticket or new item that is featured with update 15.1. A lot to talk about with this. And also we tested this out in game, found some cool stuff. We even found a bug with it. And then the rest are just some other game changes. And some of them are actually pretty big game changes, especially changes to the extended mag and QuickDraw, which are a complete game changer. I'm excited to tell you guys about them, but also a little apprehensive because it's really going to change the meta of the game going forward. But I think it's a good thing. So if you're interested in that, please stick around. A lot of great stuff to talk about. So as we get into the update, here off the bat, PUBG is mentioning that going forward, the videos that they make will be delayed because they're usually working on the final version of the build. I'm not sure if they're going to delay the actual patch notes. We'll see next time there's an update, 15.2. And then also they said that, just be aware that stuff is always subject to change. And right now, we're seeing so many changes in PUBG and things that are kind of counteracting things of the past, or PUBG making an update and then going back on it, kind of like the map service plan, which if you missed, they said here are going to be the map rotations going forward for like the next 5 seasons. And then they immediately kind of changed it based off the community feedback. So as always, I mean, in most games, this stuff is subject to change, but it seems like even more now. PUBG is going to be running a lot of surveys. They already ran one in North America. PUBG Andy said they're going to be doing more of that stuff. So they're looking for your feedback. So if you guys have feedback or feel like your voice isn't being heard, now is the time to respond to these questionnaires and these surveys to get your opinion out there, because PUBG, I feel like they're always looking for the opinions, but right now especially, that stuff is being taken into consideration very highly. So definitely make sure you guys are on top of that. And I also want to mention that today also starts the Black Friday event, where if you log in daily for the next week or so, you can get items for just 1 BP. I think they're doing contraband coupons and some other stuff. Just log in, you spend 1 BP and you can get these stuff. So if you're into that, if you're still playing PUBG, make sure you're logging in every day to get this. It's definitely something that's really helpful. And here is the new vehicle, the mountain bike. So I don't want to spend too much time just talking about the one bike here, but this is a really cool feature. And I mentioned this in stream a lot, that a long time ago on a PUBG partner call with some of the employees at PUBG, some of the partners brought up how they would love to see a bike in the game, even though it's silly, it's not overpowered. You're not going to, win just riding on the bike the whole game, but it'd be a really fun way to, have fun in the game, something silly. And, why not have a bike in the game? You see them around the map that you can't get on. Why not have it in the game and just have some fun? Sometimes fun things in the game really go a long way, even if they're not OP or super useful. But in this case, I think this mountain bike is going to be really useful because it's not like a regular vehicle. So the mountain bike is actually something that's in your inventory. You're going to pick it up. You'll see it on the ground as a folded bike. You pick it up into your inventory, and then when you want to use it, you can do an actionable thing, take it out of your inventory. It takes 4 seconds to unfold, put it on the ground, and then you have a vehicle that doesn't require gas or anything like that and is indestructible as of right now. So tires can't be popped on spike traps or anything like that. The actual bike is indestructible and rides at a pretty good speed. I think they mentioned here that at normal speed, it can go up to almost 60 kilometers. And then if you're boosting, trying to get to the section where they mentioned it. So 50 kilometers. And then if you're tapping A on consoles by sprinting, you go the fastest by tapping the sprint button. You can get up to 62 kilometers per hour. So it actually goes pretty fast. And on console, if you tap left bumper, you actually do a little bunny hop. And if you hold left bumper, you can hop so high that you can actually jump a car, which we tested and demonstrated on stream today. So this thing could actually be pretty useful. If you're driving down the road, a car comes to run you over. If you time it out, you can just jump over the car. You can shoot from the bike with a pistol. And this is going to be a really cool item. And, while some people might think it's a gimmick, someone was saying in stream today, how is this going to be useful? And I was saying, if you have this in your inventory and you are sneaking to a hill, say you don't want to use your car because you don't want people to hear you on the engine, you can run up a hill, have this in your inventory, and then the circle shifts away from you. You left your car behind you. Maybe now it's in the blue. You can unfold this bike, and now you have decent transportation to the next circle, or you can kind of sneak down the hill and it doesn't make that much noise. So I really feel like this is going to be useful in some situations, and it's definitely better than not having a car. And some people just don't like driving cars because they're loud. So if you like sneaking around, you can keep this in your inventory and actually get from point A to point B fairly quickly when you need to. So I feel like this is going to be pretty interesting. And for people that are interested in the technical stuff, it takes up 70 of your item space or inventory space. And for reference, a first aid is 40. So it's almost 2 first aids, which I feel like isn't so bad. And then some other information here, no speedometer because there is no speedometer on a bike. Item weight does say 70. There is no fuel consumption. Obviously, it cannot be destroyed, and jumps and wheelies and do all that stuff. So I think that covers most of it. Again, you can shoot from it with a pistol, and this is a really fun item, and they'll probably be doing some skins and stuff in the future. I feel like this was a really cool thing to do. So next we're on to the weapon balance changes, and up first is the P90, which bursted onto the scene as one of the strongest guns in the game for sure, which was met with some positivity because people want to be excited for a crate weapon, so I get it. I really enjoyed it too, but it does seem to be just a tad overpowered. So to balance this out, they've increased the recoil and also the ADS deviation while during full auto burst or full auto shooting. And then they lowered the care package ammo from 250 bullets to 200, so they're dropping out 50 bullets. And if I remember correctly, I think each magazine is 50, so you're actually losing one whole mag of firing capacity. I like the increase in recoil and while full auto spraying, but I feel like maybe dropping the ammo because it's the only place you can get the ammo might be a little strange, but at least an attempt to make it a little bit more balanced. Then the shotguns getting a little bit of a buff, and I know this was met by some controversy in the community. Shotguns are always kind of a controversial topic in gaming because they're just like a close range sniper, so much big damage, and they kind of feel hard to balance because sometimes, they don't feel that great. Other times you feel like you're just getting one shot immediately and there's nothing you can do to prevent it. But again, I feel like you just have to treat it like a close range sniper, and there's a lot of pros and cons to using it. And their data shows that not that many people do use them. So they're trying to make them better. But really, I just don't know if shotguns have the best place in Battle Royale. Obviously, other than when you land and need something immediately, but they can be good. LMGs getting some love right here. So getting an increase in damage for the M249 and the MG3 and some decreased recoil on the MG3. So this is crazy to me because you guys are going to see with the new extended mag changes, they're giving more love to some of these guns too. So the LMGs are going to be so strong, especially the MG3. It's such an underrated weapon. So many people skip it, and I did it first too because the recoil is crazy and you just don't know if you want to give up your AR. But it's such a strong gun. So the fact that they're giving it a buff here is going to make that gun really desirable for, in the right hands, and it might even be abused by people that are really good at the game. But one thing someone mentioned in chat, shout out to AG Mike, is that no love for the DP, and the DP isn't getting any love for the extended mag changes because it doesn't have a mag slot. So I wonder what's going to happen with the DP. We'll see. And then SMGs, people on the console community have really been looking for the nerf or a nerf for the SMG limb damage. That did not come, but they did make some changes here. So they've decreased the damage for the at long range, which I think had to be done. That's a great change. They also decreased the weapon accuracy while firing full auto. I feel like that gun's actually kind of hard to use shooting full auto. It doesn't seem very accurate, so whatever, I guess there. Then they've increased, though, the head damage multiplier on all SMGs from 1.8 to 2.1. So not a huge increase, 0.3, but still it's a pretty big difference, and they're trying to incentivize more accurate firing. But again, I would like to see this increased head damage multiplier with the decrease of the limb damage a little bit, because it's annoying that you can kill somebody faster than a Groza by shooting them in the arm with an And then they noticed that the AUG that didn't seem as powerful compared to some of the other weapons in the game, so they increased the damage by 1. Then we have the magazine balance, which I think is probably the biggest part of the update, or will have the biggest or longest lasting effect. And I'm definitely interested to see if these changes stay or if they alter them. And what the total point of this, overall point of this, is to try to make the magazines have different purposes and also give a purpose to the QuickDraw mag. So let's talk about what's happening here, what's changing, before we get into any more details. So right here, they're using the M4 as an example, very standard gun. The default mag is 30 bullets. If you play PUBG, you know this. And then if you pick up a QuickDraw, you will now have 30 bullets with 60% faster reload time. I'm not sure what the reload speed is right now before update 15.1, but if you pick up a QuickDraw in this update, you will have 60% faster reload, which is a huge percentage increase. Then if you pick the extended mag now, just the extended, instead of going from 30 to 40, you will now have 42 bullets. And if you pick up the extended QuickDraw magazine, you will have 40 bullets like the old mag and a 15% faster reload. So you're actually getting a little bit of both worlds, but not all of the extended and not all of the faster reload. So now if you just want the faster reload, you go QuickDraw. If you want extra 2 bullets, you go extended mag. And if you want a little bit of both, you go extended QuickDraw. So first of all, for people out there like OCD, seeing the 42 is very strange. And then after playing PUBG for years with the same, bullet amounts and all that, to have it changed now so late in the game does feel weird. But I do like now that you have to think about what is more worth it for you. I mean, a lot of times I don't shoot my magazine until it's all the way empty and I reload a lot. So it might honestly benefit me to have the 60% faster reload time. But there are so many times when a car's driving by and every last bullet counts. And how many times do you get a knock on that very last bullet? So now you have two more chances, with the extended mag in this situation. And for some guns like the M249, you actually get an additional 10 bullets. And these changes actually still apply to the SMGs. So now you have an extra 2 bullets on your Vector, which doesn't seem like a lot, but that gun already has super fast reload time. And every extra bullet on a Vector can make a huge difference. So I think for like DMRs and SMGs, you're still always going to go for that extended amount because you need an extended on a Vector, you need an extended on an SKS or SLR. But for the ARs, the QuickDraw is going to be a plausible item, I think, for some people at a certain amount of time. So definitely want to hear what you guys think about this. I think it's one of those things where you have to play it first to see it. But this kind of gives a buff to SMGs, in my opinion, and also and to the LMGs, at least the M249, which has the mag slot. DP obviously won't be affected by that. So there you go. Pretty big, everlasting change for PUBG and changes that have been kind of staple in the game for a long time. And then another big change here is another change on Sanhok. So this is Bootcamp V3 because we had the original Bootcamp, then Sanhok got remastered, and then they're changing Bootcamp back to a mix of both Bootcamps. So a mix of the original and new Bootcamp. So I was talking about this before. They've kept that center building, made a ton of iterations to it, made it much more fair. They dropped the upper walls. They made the windows smaller. They made it just a better building area to fight around and also to push. Before it just was really hard, easy to camp, especially in TPP. They brought back the old style Bootcamp layout where there's this kind of like U or C around the main structure, which used to be Lobster and is now this building. And then they brought back the warehouses on the other side. So overall, I feel like this is a great change. I was playing, there's a lot of stuff around the map and a lot of small items for cover. There's weapon benches, there's barrels, there's crates, there's everything on this now. So I'm excited to see how this plays. It seems a little bit more open, less complex, which I like. The buildings were just too big in the new one. There's the 4 warehouses in the center just made the flow really bad for rotating. And I personally did not enjoy dropping here, and I missed the old Bootcamp. So hopefully this will replace that. And if you want more details, you can read through all that stuff, but that's basically the gist of it. And then they keep making changes to the outer perimeter of Sanhok and also the waterways. It seems like when they made this update, it was a no-brainer to me that there was just no cover trying to cross these rivers. The way they made these changes to me were not great. They made the rivers easier to walk through, but by doing that, they made it so barren and like less desirable to even be in those areas. I honestly think that was just a net, in summary, this was a negative to Sanhok, right? It was not a net positive. It was a net negative. And that was kind of a bummer. So now they're going in and they're putting these rocks and trying to make it a little bit better so you can cross with a little bit more safety, which is good. And then also on top of that, they are brightening up Sanhok and also decreasing the darkness when it is foggy and raining during overcast weather because the visibility on that map is brutal. And then honestly, this is something I probably should have launched with or right after the bike. This is Vikendi is back in the rotation now, and Cacao Friends, which is PUBG's latest collaboration. They have now decorated Dino Land to be Cacao Friends Land, and the way that they decorated this is awesome. There's Christmas lights everywhere, and they're actually changing color, and it just looks awesome. You guys have to drop into Dino Land to see this. Castle and also a few other areas have been decorated, but Dino Land is definitely the spot. I thought this looks really great. And it also kind of has that Halloween Erangel vibe where it's almost nighttime mode, but not really. It's like moonlight. It's not too dark, but it actually looks really cool. So I'm really looking forward to seeing that once it goes live. And big shout out to PUBG for doing this. I just think it's fun when they get into, you know, decorating stuff, making changes for seasonal holidays and just stuff like that. I think is really fun. So there you go. Then we have some ranked information. I'm going to skip over all this stuff. They're taking the vehicles out of training mode so people can't troll you. They're adding a second action wheel because there's so many emotes and sprays now in the game. And this actually works really well on console. You just pull up the emote wheel and then you can use the D-pad to go between the two wheels. So very easy to use, which is nice. Some performance updates, which they're always trying to increase the performance, smoke grenade and sound update, and then bug fixes. So really the major takeaway here would be that Vikendi's back with this holiday update, which is just for fun. The magazine update is something that is going to completely change the game. You're going to have 42 ammo in your M4 now, or you can do faster reload speed, up to you. And then we have the new mountain bike, which is a vehicle, but more of like an item that you can put in your inventory and use as a impromptu vehicle for transportation. So that is kind of the gist of things. Definitely want to hear what you guys think. This is definitely not one of the biggest updates we've seen. Definitely more on the smaller side, but not every update is going to come with a ton of new content. It's kind of unsustainable for PUBG. But I will say that, you know, after having kind of a lackluster holiday season or fall season, we're just about to get into the holiday season, and no Survivor Pass, I really hope that PUBG has some more events and stuff planned because we need stuff to keep us engaged in the game while there's so many other things that are out there playable. So definitely want to hear what you guys think down in the comments below. If you made it this far, thank you all for watching. I'm Blitz5, and peace out.
What? Look over at me. What I look like?
Dude, I can't even see you, Andy. What the? What? What am I looking at? Oh my God. What am I looking at right now? Oh my God. Oh my God.
I think we find